Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio as we make this run into 56. Fingers crossed. And tonight, join myself, Oxford, on the show this evening as the one and only Southside and the legend, yes, the legend, that is Big Stevie. Evening, gentlemen. I say that loosely.
Evening, Ox. Good evening to everyone listening in this evening. Good to be back, Rangers Radio, and good to be back with my big mucker, Stevie. So let's get on with the show, mate. Looking forward to it.
Well, as Ox says there at the start, they're on into 56. So welcome to the big station, Seven Nation, and it's Dream Team Wednesday. Come on.
Yes, well, welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody's had a wee break in international football. We've had a break and we've sorted some technical issues that we've had, and some of the people have been cruising and travelling the world, getting sunshine and breaks. But since we've last been on air, the club's won another trophy, so I think it's only right, Southside, that we congratulate the Rangers ladies.
Aye, fantastic achievement through at Tynecastle there at the weekend, winning the cup. I never seen the game, unfortunately, but by all accounts they played pretty well, and success for the club, mate. It was good, done very well.
Call yourself a fan, Stevie.
The lassie's done brilliantly. I did watch the game because I'm a real Rangers man, and I just thought the full time showed a mile away the fitness. The lassie scooshed it in the end up, but fair play to Patrick Thistle for getting there. My pick would be Rachel Rowe's goal. What a dig that was, and my wee favourite up front. She scores all the time is wee Rio Hardy. She's brilliant, man. Come on, girls. Well done for the face.
Congratulations. And I've got to say, I don't want to get too involved in it. You maybe want to throw something in, but geez, Scottish football, can we make a mountain out of molehill, Southside?
I know, it was shocking. I thought when I seen something Brighton, they were making a statement, and I thought, all right, what's that about? Maybe something serious here or something, you know. And then I read a bit of it and just burst out laughing, you know. If that upsets you, obviously it does. It's because we won a trophy, isn't it? It's obviously because it's us. You know, no one likes us, as we say. We don't care.
Yeah. It's mental, Stevie. Yeah.
It's just look. It's you hit the nail on the head. It's because the Rangers won the cup. You know, they'd done the exact same thing last year. They had the badge on top of the Hearts badge, and there was nothing said. And this time there's a mountain made out of a molehill. And for Hearts to put out an official statement about that just shows you how far they hate the for Rangers in every capacity. I mean, that's the ladies. They give their stadium open. They leave it open to have the final in. Do they not think any of the advertisements are going to get covered? Come on, man. It's just a Scottish fan. They're turning this into a joke box. They really are. Well done to them for doing it.
I'm going to comment up, but well done the ladies, and well done all the players, and well done Joe Potter, and hopefully there's 2 trebles this year, Southside.
Yep, well, there's certainly going to be a chance, the ladies, isn't they? I think there's a couple of crunch games coming up against teams and that, but I hope they get there, mate, and get success for themselves first and foremost, and the club second.
Anyway, what have you two fine gentlemen been up with? I hear the snooker's not gone very well for you, Biggie. Defeat. The latest match.
Well, listen, the roles reversed for last week, mate. You know, the guys go.
You're only as good as your last game.
Correct. And the guys get plenty of talent, and you can't always beat talent, you know. So, unfortunately, today I got beat. But like you said, roles reversed for last week. But you just got to take it on the chin, didn't you?
Aye, revenge is sweet, mate. Remember that. Revenge is sweet. Remember your big self, Stevie, still putting a great in Great Britain?
Of course I'm on, mate. Of course I'm on. Just doing my stuff with other boys in the band, and just I'm just glad that international break's done with, man. It's an absolute rubbish, absolute crap. I don't bother with it at all. Okay, I watch some games and that, but come on, man. It's absolute.
Did you see the Latvia own goal?
No, I never seen that.
Oh,
no.
you need to find that. You need to see that. That's a belter, an absolute belter. But first minute, on goal, belter. Guy passes it back. The goal's right to the other side of the goal. You get the ball across the box. The guy passes it right into the goal. Belter. Anyway, I agree with you. And by the way, I don't understand what it's all about. Friendlies at this time of the year where these guys are getting paid handsomely and potential for injuries, more games of football. I think that maybe if the players' union and the people involved in the game, there's no need for it, and there's no point to it at this time of the year when they're non-competitive games. It's mental, Stevie.
Aye. Oh, for me, it's just a joke. I mean, I watched that game last night, Scotland and Northern Ireland, and by the way, fair play to the young Northern Irish team. I think the average age was 23. I mean, they stuck to their game plan. They were well disciplined. They defended for their life, and they could have been 2-0 up at half time. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Every Scotland manager's been getting it in the neck, apart from this guy, and I don't know why. He's the worst run ever Scotland have had. Seven games when he wins, and he's still there. It's all right. It's just friendlies. We'll be all right. We qualified, didn't we? He's forgetting people still paying for that crap. It's absolutely.
I know, mate. I know, and obviously we didn't have any involvement in the Scotland team, but we put players away and international duty. But we'll come to that in a minute. But I want to go back to when we had the last show. Obviously, we'd planned to do some shows on the Sunday and the Monday, and then we had the debacle up at Dundee. I think it was yourself, Stevie, that mentioned the state of Scottish football. Southside, it's just unbelievable. There's one game called off, I think, in the whole of senior football in Britain, and it's a Scottish Premiership game. Yeah, Premiership game, live on the television on a Sunday lunchtime, and it's called off because somebody can't get a big enough fork. Southside.
It was certainly disappointing, especially when you've got up early in the morning, getting ready to go. We got
Yes, I got your text with a wee message with the Greg's back in that. Very pretty. Carry on.
I know, any Greg's early in the morning, no. It's but it was disappointed. Probably hindsight is probably good for the players that they go to the rest. When you seen the state of the park and the pictures that started to emerge, it certainly didn't look good. And then we could have risked another injury. You'd love to have probably went up and played the game. Shocking that they didn't have that park in a decent condition. I know they said they go it rain the night before, but they've had plenty of issues.
It's unusual for it to rain in Scotland, Southside.
Aye, especially up there. We always say the summers are how warm the rain is, don't we? So, but no, it was. Bus, we had travelled up anyway in the hope that it might get played, but obviously it didn't. And it's just another disgrace that the fact that Sky were going to be showing the game and they just couldn't get the park playable. And it was all right saying if we delayed it, it was playable later on, but that wasn't the issue. No, there wasn't. There was a bit of rain as we travelled up as well before we got to Stirling, heading up that way. So we thought probably we had more rain hitting Dundee later on, but it probably didn't. But it's just bad that the game didn't get played, mate, especially live on Sky.
And by the way, I thought our manager was superb, the way he handled himself, the statements he made. And if Scottish football have got somebody they want to hang their hat on, that guy's just full of common sense.
100%, mate. 100%. Do you know the thing that got me about it when I came home and I was listening to some of the interviews? It was actually the guy that does the greenkeeper, the guy that does the part, would you call him?
The groundsman.
The groundsman, mate. That's the word I'm looking for. See, the groundsman said 3 times before it ends, and they've just put the time of the kick-off. They've delayed it to later on that day. He says, but for some strange reason, we're not doing that today. That made me stop and think when he said that. He says, so it's happened 3 times before, and what they've done is instead of being 12 o'clock, they've made it 3 o'clock, and that's been all right. But on this occasion, it's not happening for whatever reason. That's the groundsman saying that.
I believe that's the fourth game they've had postponed this season because of the pitch. And I've got to agree with the manager wholeheartedly, Southside. In the top league, there should be standard of pitches. And that we've talked about the plastic pitch, also on grass pitches, in modern football. It's part of the game now, Southside.
You want to be able to play good football when you're putting a product on the park. Dundee's had problems in the past, like we said. Motherwell's another one that had problems over the years, and they sort of rectified it. But I think their pitch is looking pretty good now. Probably had to go out and spend a few quid. They're trying to move into Dundee. They're talking about moving, so I don't think they'll be doing much in the foreseeable future, to be honest. But listen, it should have been played. It was the only game in Britain that was put off. It was disgusting. And obviously the fact that they didn't keep Rangers informed up with the situation as well, because I think they were staying at St Andrews. So I mean, it was just a wee short journey across, and they didn't realise until they get to the stadium. So it was poor for Dundee. And seen the chairman standing there with a bit of mud on his shoes, saying he'd been out there since 5 in the morning. Very good. Wasn't good enough, mate?
I don't think you've been fair there, Southside. I think Rangers got the email 3 days later.
Aye, well, that's probably a possibility. Aye, that old one and all.
The supercomputer, that's right. That's brilliant, isn't it? The supercomputer. But as Clement's right, if you're in the Premier League, man, you should have your pitch up to standard. See all these plastic pitches and waterlogged pitches and games getting put off, all the drainage and all the. I mean, Rangers do the artificial lights, and that's how their park's like a bowling green. Every team should have that. You shouldn't be in that Premier League. Plain as simple as that.
We understand if you have extreme weather, you can't deal with it. There's a storm, whatever. But that was nothing unusual, and the pitch wasn't playable. Yeah, so we get that. That's, we can get the odd extreme. Yeah, and we've had it twice this year. The Dundee game in Ross County, can't read a weather forecast, and that game was called off. So think about the people who paid their wages. Southside.
There have been games getting played at amateur level or Dundee and some of the parts up there that day, I bet you.
Aye.
I guarantee you there was games getting played up there. No? So, but a club like Dundee couldn't get a game on. I mean, how no even have covered the park the night before? If they thought anything was going to be amiss, surely we should check the weather. But no, it was just poor. In hindsight, it might be good because it gives us a warm-up this week. And hopefully the players have had a good rest, and the ones that have been away in international duty, hopefully, like we say, they've come back without injuries and ready to go. So it might work out in their favour, but it's just the fact that it's going to be a midweek up at Dundee. But so be it.
Aye. So the fixtures are now, before the split, we've got Hibs, them, Dundee and Ross County. 2 at home, 2 away, Stevie.
Aye. Listen, I think we're a better team when we play during the week and the weekend. I think we can handle it, So it might be a godsend. I'm hoping it's a godsend, but it just annoys me the fact that, everything just seems to suit that other mob, you know what I mean? It's just how I feel. I just can't trust Scottish football now, and it's terrible. It just needs ripped up and started again, Scottish football. Everything's just for one club, and that's the truth. And Bridge is getting a war cry all the time. You hear guys like Bridge, who's anybody that knows Bridge knows he's a total gentleman, and when Bridge says that about somebody, it's bad, man. And Scottish football is crap. And honestly, super computers to waterlog pitches to gain people league titles before it's even done, and everything just suits them. Everything. And it's a wee bit of a worry, mate. But I just think we're a good team playing the Wednesday and then the Sunday or whenever we're playing.
Mm-hmm. My concern is my manager. My genuine concern is Southside that we don't sicken the bloke. He might buy into us, but the circus round about us.
Aye, obviously, he said a few things in the past about certain things. and he certainly made it clear about the state of the pitches and communication and that regarding Dundee. Listen, he wants to play a style of football that we're starting to see. He wants a passing game and that, and he'd probably like a lot of teams in the league to play it and make it sort of entertaining. And you can see the issues off the park, certain things that get done and the way things have been done just since he's been here, and the way teams have conducted themselves against us as well. Some of the tackles have been put in our players that have went unpunished. So aye, he's learnt quick, but we've been watching it and seeing it for years, mate.
Aye, right. I suppose before we move on and talk about some other things that's happened, I think we better get these phone lines open. What do you think, Stevie?
Aye, get the bells on. It's Dream Team Wednesday. Come on, punters. Give me south side a bit of stick. Come on in and talk about the famous. Come on.
Oh, he's a bit of stick.
Well, maybe even some of the boys. That boy came on the last time for YouTube. The boys that are listening in the lobby and the lassies that listen in there. So maybe one of them want to phone in the night and come on and speak to us. It'd be good.
We want to speak to the lassies south side there.
Women are welcome as well as the men.
Yeah, Rangers for everyone and anyone. We let you two on, didn't we?
No, everybody in social media is a woman.
You're learning. You're learning. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Ox.
Yes, mate.
Can I just say, I'm getting the last Dream Team T-shirt went to Big Davey that I work with.
Oh, he's an avid listener. Yes.
Yes.
That guy's got a lot to put up with. First thing in the morning, last thing at night.
Big Davey, some man. He always listens to Dream Team Wednesday. He gives me a bit of stick in the morning, got to work. But anyway, you got my last Dream Team T-shirt. He'll pay me like the catalogue, $2.85 for 38 weeks. That's a cert.
That book of yours must be getting bigger and bigger. How's it going for Go Bathrooms? You get plenty of orders.
Listen, the boys at Go Bathrooms are doing a fantastic job, by the way. I'll tell you, round about the West End of Glasgow, the boys are doing great. And by the way, you know what? The big man's, Big George, is some man. He pulls tickets here and there for me all the times. But I'll tell you what, the punters, man, they're doing some jobs in there, so they are. They're working morning, noon and night. Brilliant. Go Bathrooms is a way forward for the Blue Noses. Come on.
Yeah. That was a lovely suite you go south. They the red, white and blue toilets.
Well, you've just got to try something. It is a bit bright, but hey, it's a good colour scheme.
I Go Bathrooms, fair play to the boys. Brilliant. Right, come and join us, give your thoughts. Right, so obviously it's been sort of quiet in the Rangers. The ladies have grabbed the attention, a couple of big matches culminating in the Sunday when they won the cup. But also there was an announcement for the summer. It's hard to believe we're talking about pre-seasons in March. We're playing Man United at Midfield, Southside.
Aye. 20th of July, I believe. Prices were a bit.
They were going to make it the 13th, but they were struggling to get a band, I heard.
But aye, it was a wee bit chunky on the prices for the pre-season friendly. But I purchased a ticket. So I'll be looking forward to when it comes along, mate. But it's a wee bit off yet, and I'm hoping maybe by the time we get there, our squad will be certainly a lot more different than what it is this season. But aye, it's a glamour friendly, isn't it?
Aye, it's obviously a big name, and obviously there's a lot of work getting done at Ibrox, and I don't think we're going to see the best to the competitive game starts, apart from away from home, Stevie. That's what it's looking like in the moment.
There's a lot of work getting done, so that's the only way you're going to get to see the Bells, isn't it? So I snaffled up my 2 tickets, £45 each, 90 bangers. I'll be making a wee day out of it, get through there, looking forward to it. No doubt I'll chopped pork, tequila. We'll have a wee, maybe have a wee pop at the castle and a few of the touristy things we'll do, you know. Might get like the Hearts if they see the Rangers badge on the Hearts badge.
Oh dear. Somebody did send me that. Just changing back to that subject, that Hearts' advert yesterday, do it for the badge or something when they were trying to sell tickets. Yeah. Oh dear. Quite funny, but oh dear. Aye, so that's something to look forward to in the summer, mate. A glamour-friendly Murrayfield. A day out outside, different for the usual. It'll be a home game as such, but it'll be a day out into Murrayfield.
Aye, caught to the kick-off time, I think. Might be a day out with the troops and maybe get a train through or something. Like you say, maybe make a day it. Where are you at 46 quid, Biggin? I thought it was a bit. Where are you at 46 quid?
I don't know what I'm
60 odd quid.
Aye, you're for the south side.
I know, but I was there.
You go to the concession, mate. You know what I mean?
Who did him? Aye. I was just wondering where you were at that. I don't know. I hadn't seen the thing. The tickets get bought, but I'm sure I had to pay 60 odd quid.
You must be hospitality. I thought I was hospitality at 45 quid. I thought I was getting a free buying a programme with that.
Oh, no chance.
No chance. Did you see the price of hospitality?
No, what was that coming on it?
Oh, mate, it's heavy, mate. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, mate. They've got to watch, yeah. You've got to also remember it's a bounce game. After a tournament, you don't know who's going to be available. You know what I mean, Southside? You know?
Aye. Listen, it's not something I'm keen on, you know, to be honest, as a pre-season friendlies, if I'm honest. But, aye, I've got the tickets and going to go through.
Aye,
might as well.
Also, but yes, mate.
Many thousands of bells getting. Are we getting one end, or are we getting the whole place, or what's happening?
You know, I think when I read initially, and this was initially, it was like a third, and the rest is, if you like, corporate, mate.
Really, aye?
Aye. That's what I picked up, mate. That was only, I've not looked into it too much. Yeah, but that was my initial reading it at the time, yeah, because obviously it's a long time away. You know,
Man, you're the same amount as us then?
Potentially, aye.
I think is it no them it's sort of hosting it?
Aye, it's no.
They're the hosts, Stevie.
Are they?
Aye.
The vast of me team like Rangers. Oh, magic. Listen, I'll look forward to that then. So we've gone there just as, but no, that's good. Is it wee tournament? Is there anybody else playing? Is it just us? Or just a glamour match then?
Just a one-off, mate. Just a one-off.
You could sell him in, couldn't you?
Anything.
He's leaving. He doesn't even know what he's gone to see, apart from he knows it's Rangers.
That's it. Rangers said, are a ticket, I'm away, man. That's it. I don't ask questions. Yeah, that's the difference with me. I don't even know. Does it get you my jails points?
No.
What? They my jails, that's how I plan up gets a few my jails points.
Go for the 45 quid ticket.
Oh, having a wee pop, because you're for Byers Road End, West End, having a pop at the drum there,
You know the West End, mate, we've got a better class of toilet.
Don't see any burnt out skips in the West End, do you?
No. He's right there, by the way. Go bathrooms, he's doing the damage out there, man. Everybody's toilets will be numero uno, that's for sure. But anyway, listen, I just think that's brilliant. So, look, the only way you're going to see the Teddy Bears pre-season is go to Murrayfield. And by the way, the last time I was in Murrayfield, me and Jamba Boy, we had a great victory, 3-1. We beat Hearts. Mine, big laugh. He scored a bumper, a free kick for Hearts.
Did Kenny Miller no score too, if I remember right?
Aye, Miller scored, aye.
And the wee Englishman, would you call him?
Forrester, was it?
No. His dad played football and all. What do you call him?
Oh,
Windass.
That's Windass scored and Miller got 2. By the way, and I'll tell you what, it was some atmosphere coming out of there, by the way. It was absolutely brilliant. Seeing Dundee stairs and all that, seeing the bells pouring out that place, it was magic, man. Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to it. Be a good trip outside that.
Obviously,
Aye, looking for a wee trip down to England, but
I think there's potential for that south side as well. But listen, let's get this season out of the way. But I just had to throw that out because the announcement got made. And listen, I'll tell you what we'll do. Obviously, we'll not be able to see you. We'll make a point of seeing you before the game, and me and Southside will wait for you in the stadium in the cheap seats. All right?
Why case my Wayne heals that? He was 17 Friday, man. Big
and you
chamber
still bought a juvenile ticket.
Oh, I did not. Oh, these 2 adults, 45 bangers each. No problems. Done and dusted. When it comes to the Rangers, by the way, I'd raffle my granny.
There's a name for that. You behave.
You have to be careful how you say it.
Right, come and join us. Give your thoughts. We're going to slowly start building our attention up to a massive game for us on Saturday. Southside, we go back top of the league.
Aye, looking forward to getting back to real football. Hibs have played no bad in certain games lately, and that, but we've demolished them in the games that we've played them. We've beaten them well. So, no, I'd just like to think that players that he picks on Saturday just get right on it for the start and just get the game won. And hopefully that'll be us back in the groove. Then we've got a week to rest up before we play them. But most important thing is just getting the 3 points. But we've had the measure of Hibs this year, mate. So I'd like to think it will continue.
Yeah. Stevie.
Aye. I mean, the last time we played them at Easter Road, we scalped them, didn't we? You know, and by the way, see if we start taking more chances against them, it could be even more. So I'm just, look, it's a business end of the season. Do these boys really need, no, they know what it's about. It's a big game. Let's just get out there. The same intensity as Hearts. The way they came out against Hearts that day and just blow Hibs away and get the game done from the first off and send the bells into, man, just we'll sing the whole way through the second half. But magic. Just let's do it, Rangers. Come on, man. This is a business end now. No more hiccups. Let's do it.
Nine league games to go. 8 wins. We win the league. That's facts outside, isn't it?
Aye, that's it, mate. It's just about crossing the games off as they come along. Looking forward to Saturday. Hopefully everybody's missed the football like we all have. Missing Rangers and get back to Ibrox, get a crack atmosphere, get the place electric. 3 o'clock kick-off on a Saturday, and just hoping for the team just to come out and respond to it. I'm sure they will. Clement will have them well drilled. He said time to work with some of the players. They've all had a few days off. 3 or 4 days, I believe. I think they got to start. So, aye, they'll come back refreshed. Hopefully, the ones that have played just gave them a bit of game time and they're ready to go as well. There's a few of them done pretty well while they've been away. So, hopefully, they'll do well when they get back in that blue jersey, mate, on Saturday. And
maybe in the next couple of days, we might get some update on Ridvan. My initial hearing is it's not as serious as the media made out, and he might not make it for Saturday, but he'll definitely be fit for next week, hopefully, Stevie. So we couldn't catch a break. He got called into the squad late, goes and plays the game, and I think it lasted about 22 minutes, no?
If it's something, have we any idea what it is? It must just be something slight. Obviously, if he's no missing, the Hibs game.
It's not going to be big, is it?
No, nobody can get his legs and his passport, you know. But no, I mean, it's good. It was good news because first when I heard they get took after during the international, I went, "Oh, that's serious. We're no seeing him do at the end of the season, you know." And then you're going to have to look for Burnley to step up. No, and Borna possibly could step up. I wouldn't write Borna half, by the way. I know he wasn't great against Kilmarnock and teams like that when he came on, and but listen, it's the business end of the season, and if he's going to go, I think the boy would give everything he had, and then say cheerio at the end of the season with a couple of medals. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? The 3 medals. So I just think, look, he'll be there, but Clement's telling you, and he's not missing Hibs. He'll be there for them. So let's hope we're playing our cards right here. Because Hibs is a big game. I'm not going to turn around and say, well, we shouldn't be feeling our strongest team against them. I'm just saying that it's good the fact that the wee man's no serious,
Aye, well, fingers crossed. You never know. You maybe make it for the weekend, maybe no, but hopefully it's no serious because he was playing well, Southside, but...
Yeah, aye. He offers different for Borna as well, and the way Clement's got Ridvan and Tav sitting, and the way they push forward in midfield, and they don't always overlap now. And the wee man plays well. He's good in the tackle. He likes to nutmeg players, as we've noticed in the last few games. He's quite happy when he's shut down. He seems to be nutmeg, get yourself out and get yourself up the park. But he's done really well. He's been playing consistently well. Crossing was starting to get a bit better. He's still working on it, but he offers something completely different for Borna. Borna prefers to get the ball and get down the line and whip the ball in, and Clement likes to play with wingers. So technically, there isn't room for our fullbacks to be bombing down the line very often. So I've no fear if he puts Borna in on Saturday. Listen, it doesn't bother me. He didn't have a great game against Kilmarnock, but Borna was probably one of your better players at the start of the season when it kicked off. He was pretty consistent for a wee while. He knows the club. And I think he would come in and do a job. Sterling offers you something different if he went down that road, obviously, if he decided to put him across. But I think Borna would probably come in and Saturday. Oxford. I don't know what you think, but I think Borna's probably will.
That's an interesting one because I don't know why. Big Sterling, there's something about him. I don't know what you think, Stevie. There's something about him. I've got a different view for you, Southside, and we've talked about this off air as well. I think when I've seen him playing, I think his best position is potentially to be a defensive midfielder. But he's definitely a utility man, and the gaffer seems to like him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't fit him in midfield and then Sterling appears, because I think he'll be building his own team with his own players. Come on, the ones that he's building, I trust me, particularly if the stories are true that Borna signed a pre-contract and they'll be gone back and he's out the door. He'll go with our best wishes. He's been a decent signing for us. He's had his moments, let's be honest, but he's been a decent signing for where we were in 2018 when Stevie G came in, and he's gave us 6 years of his life. So we'll always be grateful for some of the memories, but it's maybe time to move on. So I don't know. I would be tempted to play Sterling. I just if the midfield's full, because I like the big game. Stevie?
Listen, I like Big Sterling. I've had this I've had our talks about it in the Southside about the big man. You prefer him where he was naturally built for as the right back position, but I think we stumbled across a diamond in the big game. And by the way, you said it, you could play him anywhere, put him in goal. If Thingmy gets injured, know what I mean? He's just, the big man just gives 100%. It's just he's strong, he's running, and he just gives everything, man. I just think the big boy's brilliant, totally brilliant. And I think he gives out, and I think he gets the Rangers. I think he's got the bug, and he'll play anywhere for us. But I agree with you, Ox. I like him playing in the midfield. I really do. I think he offers something going forward. I think the big man can tackle. I think he's athletic. I think he's just absolutely brilliant.
So, Sid, you always get the right to reply, mate.
I think once you've got a fully fit squad, where do you play Sterling? You got to play him in centre mid, take Diamondi out there.
You think he's a defensive midfielder, Diamondi?
No, but it doesn't have to be. No, bro. So you're playing Lundstram as it's all right how you pick your team, but you've got to remember how they play on and off the ball, and what we look today on the ball. I mean, And you know, Lundstram drops in and we sit as a three at the back. When you have callers coming on saying we should play a back three, you know, sometimes Lundstram sits in and sits beside Golston and Suter, and then it allows Diamonde to pick the ball up and get it up further. Your other midfielder gets up further, and we play with natural two wingers. We know Clement likes to play with two wingers. He had Cortez on one wing, and he had McCausland when he was in form and no injured, playing always on the right when he came in. So he wants to play with wingers. He's made it perfectly clear. So where does Sterling fit in? You got to drop Cantwell, you got to drop Diamonde, you're going to drop a Tom Lawrence. It might be easy to pick McCausland now because he's a young boy and he's sort of been out of form. He's dropped a wee bit of form. But I mean, you're all going on about he's want Sterling in the team, and he's also he's a midfielder. So where he's actually playing him when everybody's fit, Raskin, if he starts to start functioning, playing, Cantwell's back. I mean, who are you taking out this midfield to put Sterling into it? What is he going to offer you that they don't? Apart from a bit of pace and power. Right, I'll give you that.
He's a defensive midfielder. I get your point about creativity. I get that. If you're playing with the guys who are going to create, say Diamonde, Cantwell, etc., he ain't replacing them because he's not that type of player. But the best games he's had for us, in my opinion, has been in that midfield role. Stevie?
Listen, it's just as plain as this. I look at it as in, see if you're playing well in the team, why should the jersey not be yours? So you've got Big Sterling, who's been absolutely outstanding for us in the midfield. Who are you dropping him for? Somebody like Raskin, it's no played at all. And I get he's had an injury and he's coming back, and I get all the rest of it, but I would just, as it is right now, I would rather have Sterling in the team than Raskin. That's just how I see it. I just see it as in here and now. No where it could be months down the line or when we've got a full squad. And I just see here and now what I think. But if I'm picking a team on Saturday, I'm putting Sterling in the team before Raskin. And by the way, we're talking about John Lundstram there, guys. Do we know anything else about the deal? I heard they got offered a deal, but they've no settled it yet. No, that's carry on.
Would you give Lundstram a new contract, Stevie?
Well, it depends what kind of contract we're offering. I certainly wouldn't be giving him a 4-year deal with better money. That's for sure. I'd be giving him a 2-year deal with lesser money. Take it or leave it. He's at that stage. But look, again, I've got to look at it. Since Clement's took over, the big man's been magic for us. Over the piece till now. So how would you know something a deal?
Well, it's the manager's call.
No. Simple. You want to give him $2 million a season? Minimum. Lundstram. Is that what you want to give him? $2 million, just £2 million a year for a 2-year contract, £4 million out Rangers coffers? Because he showed up since Clement's came in. Really? No, we could use that money and go and get a good winger, a decent striker, add it to whatever we need to do, or put that money towards getting Seema. You've got the midfield stacked with players, and he's already flinging Sterling in there and saying, "Oh, he's our midfielder." So how you could go and use?
Are you saying to me?
No, I'm no. But you keep telling us he does. I hope Clement goes and buys another decent midfielder like Diamonde and the calibre like he was buying in Oscar Cortez. Guys that look like they've got a bit about them, a bit of flair and pace and skill. Was Lundstram outstanding against Benfica at Ibrox? Big game to turn up in? No. You can turn around and say nobody else was maybe at a point, but that's not the issue. You're talking about how he's playing well and how he's outstanding. So you want to play and play him week in, week out, or more or less he'll play week in, week out. Going for over $2 million a season for the Premier League, really?
How do we know what he's getting paid? Gonna somebody run this by me. How do you know it's $2 million a season? How do you know it's $1 million a season?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're going to offer him about $2 million a season because he's going to be up there over 30 grand a week, Stevie, at the moment. Easy. He would have been on that.
And what did I just say? I hope he's not going to get the same amount of money as what he's getting.
How knows? If you're telling us he's outstanding and he's a guy and he's the main man, you walk in the door and they say, "Yo, by the way, Stevie, you've been great all season, but why don't you take a pay cut?"
It's good business, plain and simple.
He'll not take a pay cut. Why would he?
Take it or leave it. If he's got the buck, he's going to take it, isn't he?
I would just reinvest the money and just get rid of him. Look at it over the 4-year period we've had him.
Invest the money. What do you think you're going to get for Lundstram? He goes, he's going to walk away, isn't he?
Aye, well, let him walk away and let's reinvest the money in the wages. You want to, and save that £4 million that it might cost you for the next 2 seasons.
So in the blue corner, we have Southside, who, under any circumstances, would you give John Lundstram a contract with 30 say no? Am I picking you up right?
He's too old. He doesn't fit the system or the model, so he goes.
Right, you shake hands, you move on. In the blue corner for Southside, who says he wouldn't give him a contract, and Stevie would be looking to give him a contract, potentially a 2-year deal. The wages are up for debate, so it'd be interesting to hear what the listeners think of that. I don't know how we stumbled on it, but let's put it out there. Come and join us. Give your thoughts. 0141 356 1972, and we'll get a poll started. Southside or Big Stevie, and we'll see where it takes us. All right.
Everybody's only want to give him a contract because he's only been kicking a boss since Clement came in, and he's been ever present. Right, fine. I get
Clement Southside.
He's using them, Stevie. He's using them. He's not going to come right out and he said, aye, he can have talks now, or I might want to keep him. He might have used something like that along the line. He's going to say that to every player that he wants to turn out for him.
Why would Clement no give one of his best players since he came into a new club? A guy's been decent nearly week in, week out since he's come in. Why would they not look to give him a new contract? Tell me.
In the Premier League, that's what we base it on. He's outstanding in this Premier League, other weeks in, week out. It's a bigger picture. He's got to be a year down the line. You know what we say all the time. They go away, they come back for pre-season, their legs start to go. And if he becomes a bit part player, he's going to be sitting on there with a hefty salary when we need a right winger, we need centre backs, we need striker, and we want to waste money on Lundstram because he's shown a wee purple patch in this spell now in a dross league. He'll not be any good in Europe. He'll be no good in Europe, and that's when you need the legs. You need to be on there and on the ball and dictating games. Honestly, Stevie, I know he's playing all right and he does a job, but no, I would rather get the money invested into other parts of the team where we really need it, because we're stacked in there, and Raskin will come back next season and he will be fit and he will start to play. You don't become a bad player overnight. Can't well be back playing and all. So we've got midfielders, Diamondi. You hope to bring somebody like Bailey Rice through in time. You've got McCausland that you could easily slot into another role. We need to start looking at better than John Lundstram. He's playing all right, mate, but for 4 years that he's been there, look at his contribution overall, and he's even down tools on his mate. And you know what, you've all watched it.
Agree with you that where there's no time for sentiment anymore. You can't just key, he's been a good servant to the club, we'll give him another contract. I agree with you there. It's no more time for that. We've got to look at the business model. We've got to think it as a business. We've got to get rid of players too. I get that, but I just think, why would Big Phil no look to give John Lundstram a contract when he's played for him? He's given his wit 80% nearly every week. All right, against Benfica, old team were bogging, weren't they? But there's been games where you could honestly say, I mean, he get man of the match. When was it? The last league game? The last league game? I can't remember, was it? I know he get man of the match one of the last games there. But anyway, he has been good for us. And I don't see how Clement wouldn't look at him and say, well, look, this boy's giving me everything. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. People are moving on. They're getting old. They're lacking a wee half a yard. That Tav comes into that. Golson comes into that. Balogun, all these other players, they all come into that. But you're not going to get rid of guys that are on 4-year contracts. Not any sense in talking about them. But I get where you're coming from that way. But I'm just saying, on John Lundstram's forum now, under Phil Clement, since he came in, I think the boy's due a contract. But what I would be saying if I was Rangers is, there it's there, you're getting a 2-year deal, possibly a third on how you're playing. and you're getting reduced wages by a couple of £1,000, take it or leave it. I think he would take it. I think he's got a Rangers bug. I think he would take it. Just to be part of the club, I think he would take it. I think he's enjoying his time at Rangers. And it would make good business sense then, wouldn't it? That's just my opinion.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. But look, you opening the window and just flinging the money out the window. Because our 2 year, you're going to waste that money on him. And he's no good in tight situations. He's no good under pressure on the ball. He gives the ball away, and when he loses the ball, he usually tugs the player and takes a cheap booting. I get he does certain things in the team. He sits in at the back and helps the way the play goes and out. But I'm hoping Clement's got a better midfielder in his head that we can go and buy. And then you'll forget about John Lundstram. You know what I mean? It's £4 million. Best part of probably £4 million we're having to give him for a guy who will get another year down the line. He's got a year left to really play well and get man of the match against Ross County and all that in the Premier League.
All I'm saying is, on his present form, I think Phil would need to be nuts not to look at him to give him a contract.
Playing devil's advocate here, Southside, and some of your points I agree with, and I think there is a ready-made replacement when you admit his best position is midfield. However, going back to the Lundstram thing, what happens if he's outstanding in the next 11 games? How does it look then?
And what difference is it going to make? Like you say, you're only as good as your last games. Exactly. So it's how you go next season. And I'm hoping Clement has got an eye for another midfielder or something like that he wants to put in. And people will go, Raskin, he's no good, he's this and that. People are entitled to other opinions. But Raskin probably will get back into that team next season, probably flying in the odd day of pre-season. I would expect him to. But whether he takes their place and he becomes a regular, I don't know. But he will be about his plans and he will be there because he's a player we're going to try and flip. We didn't buy him in at that age and try and... Clement's not going to make the players any worse. He's getting a tune out of Lundstram. So if he can get a tune out of Lundstram, he'll get a tune out of any other player that's coming back that's not been playing well now. I just think it's a lot of money, over close to £4 million for 2 years to re-sign John Lundstram. That's my take on it.
Mr. Fox has posted his opinion in because he's turned shy all of a sudden. I don't know whether he want to come on and speak to you too, but he's saying a 1 year deal, yes. A 2 year deal, yes, if reduced wages. A 3 year deal, no. I suppose there's sense in that if you're doing Big Stevie's route, Stevie.
Aye, that's more or less what I'm saying, aye. I would give him a reduced reduced deal with a reduced wage and say take it or leave it and let him make a decision. Put it back on him. I think he's earned. I'll say it again. On his present form, I think he's deserved to be looked at for another contract, but no on the same money. And no any more than a 2 year contract with maybe an extra year if he plays so many games in the 2 years.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting as it pans out to see what the manager's thoughts are, Southside, yeah?
Aye, but we're stacked with midfielders. No, like you keep telling me how Sterling can go in there and play this role. You want to bring on somebody, you want to bring maybe even Bailey Rice in and try and get him into the team at some point. He'll need to work hard, he'll need to learn and he needs to work, but that boy's got abundance of talent. We're already talking about other boys that like people are saying, get Connor Barron and get this other boy in for here and there. We've got boys. We need to give him a chance. Cole McKinnon's another one. Cole McKinnon's a central midfielder. He's no a winger.
Physically ready, by the way.
Aye, and he'll run his heart out and he'll try and he's got good vision, the boy. They need chances. So you would rather maybe these boys don't get developed because you want to give Lundstram a 2 year deal because since Clement's come in, he's only been ever present because he's been fit and most of the squad's been injured. No, so he's had to play. And testament to him, he's been fit. I get that. And he's hardly really been injured in his time at Rangers. And he's played with fractured ribs and all that. But it didn't help us. But I give him acknowledgement for doing it. But he's not been great the whole 4 years he's been here. And he's only playing well under Clement now. And he's only getting picked week in, week out because of the amount of injuries that whole squad's had. Who's not to say if Ryan Jack had been totally fit that he might have not took his place? You don't know, but he might have.
No, you don't.
Because Jack was getting picked up until before Sterling was getting picked in the midfield. When he was fit, he was getting picked. So it's down to come on, but I just think he might have a better midfielder in mind, and it'll no cost us a contract. We'll need to give Lundstram, and hopefully he'll be younger, fitter, and faster than him, and he'll be an asset to our team, whoever he gets in.
Well, you've rattled a cage here, Stevie. You know, that'll be interesting to see how it pans out, man. That'll be what I would like to know. The whole thing is off the record what the manager actually thinks. We'll never hear that South side, you know. That'd be really what his thinking is. Yeah.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? And they like the fact that he's playing well. They know, a day he's turned it round and he's playing. But listen, he's playing well in the league. We're going into European competition and all. We need to go deep in competitions. And Lundstram hasn't got the legs for that in there. And in tight situations, getting shut down and all that, he doesn't hold the ball well. He loses it. Look at how many cheap bookings he's took. He gets sent off in Europe, if you remember, against Ashlerkirk or something. Remember? Tugging a boy back because he gets caught in tight situations and all that. And he's playing all right now in the Scottish Premier League. But if you think you want to give him close to $2 million a season for doing it for the next 2 years, then fair enough. But it wouldn't be me, Ox. I think we've got more other issues we need to strengthen, and that money could be used as well as we start to clear the decks with half of that squad that's in there. Now it's picking up money for doing nothing.
Oh, there's a lot, mate, and we're not alone in that. With football clubs at the moment, and obviously there's going to be a big turnover of players, isn't there? You know, there's guys, you know, came to the end and they'll go. Well, we enjoyed some of the moments. Ryan Jack gave a roof, for instance, Borner himself. You know, and if you throw Lundstram into that, mate, it becomes a lot of money that you're paying. You know, the fringe players, if you like, which Borner, Kemar Roof, and Ryan Jack became for different reasons, but they have.
Aye, Ryan Jack's. I don't know. I don't know if you'd done a stat a while ago, but I think I can remember back 7 seasons that Ryan Jack's been there. I'd take a guess and say he's lucky. I'm trying to think. I might be wrong, but he's probably averaged about 25 games in a season. In some of them that he's managed to do. Wonderful player when he was fit. Contributed greatly to the club, but totally unreliable. Same as Kemar Roof, contributed greatly to the club when fit, but no good sitting on the sidelines and getting the money. And up another one that he's another one. But saying Lundstram wants to stay, and he's coming out saying I'd love to stay. Of course he would, but no benefit to us, Ox. We need players that are going to be. I'd love to see if we could get another Kemar. If we could dig up a Kemar Roof that would be fit every week, it'd be great. But we need a striker, and we probably need 2. So we need to start looking in the forward areas, and I think we'll probably need to look at centre back as well. It's a lot of money, Ox, and we need to start clearing the decks. John McLaughlin's another one picking up money that needs to go. You know, Scott Wright, he got left about a season. Somebody else we should be looking to move on and all. Unless he's on a low wage, and it wouldn't really matter because he fills the Scottish contingent, you know.
I'll just give you the Ryan Jack stats, and I've liked Ryan Jack when he came into the club. But you're spot on, mate. You're thinking, mate. He's been with us nearly 7 years now. He made his debut at home, Progress Niederkorn, back in the 29th of the 6th, 2017. That's how early we entered Europe then, Southside, June. He's been involved in exactly 210 games, 171 starts, 39 is sub. So if you average that, that's an involvement at the moment of 30 games a season, which when you consider we get close to 38 league games, the amount of European ties we've played. In fact, of the 210 games, 53 the involvement has been in Europe. So you take that off it, mate, and you go down to 100. You go down to 157, and you talk about your bread and butter. It's just above 20 games a season, mate.
It's just, listen, he's had some fantastic performances in the Rangers jersey for us.
I like Ryan Jack.
And I did like Ryan Jack, and when Ryan Jack was fit, I would always say he would been my team. But another one that we gave a contract to, and it's just
I would
the
have given him a
fact that
contract, Southside. I think there was logic in it. I gave him a year's contract, but it's no time to shake hands and move on.
aye, 100%. We'll have to do that, mate.
You know. Anyway, we've been joined by Robert. Evening, Robert. How are we doing, Mucker?
Evening, Oxford, Stevie and Southside. Good to have you back, guys. I've missed you the last couple of weeks. Good to have the number one platform back, Rangers Radio.
What's on your mind, mate? Good to hear you, mate. What's on your mind?
Right, now listen, Southside, I'm going to take you up, son. I'm sorry. April Fool's Day is another 5 days away. Southside, I'm sorry. I can't believe that you don't think a boy like John Sterling, who's going to make our club millions in the future, didn't deserve a place in our team. I don't care where he plays. He can play anywhere as long as he's in his team. Because before the winter break, that big boy get 3 or 4 man of the matches, and he's outstanding, and I think he's a player. So I don't care if Lawrence or Cantwell, whoever has to come out the team, that boy's got to get in our team, because I think he's an athlete, and he's right for Scottish football, and he's right for us, and he'll make us millions. Another one, Southside, I'm going to take you up. I don't care about last season, the season before. John Lundstram's been outstanding since our managers came in. Outstanding. And yes, I'm with Big Stevie here. I would give him a contract. I wouldn't be giving him 30, 35 grand a week. I wouldn't be giving that, because let's be honest, you're talking about giving him £4 million. We're giving Connor Golson £8 million over 4 years. We're giving other players like Ruth. We're giving players like Ben Davis, who are stealing money out of our club, but yet we don't want to give John Lundstram a contract, who's never unfit. He's always fit, like Tavernier, like Golson. He's always fit and playing with our team, but yet you want to give guys like Ruth and you want to give guys like Ben Davis what they're on. I don't know, but they're on about 25 to 30 grand a week, but you don't want to give John Lundstram it. I don't get it, Southside. I'm sorry.
I'm not giving it. One, there's Robert. I'm not giving anybody anything. What Connor Goulston got and what stupidity was we gave them was up to the club, innit? In the contract. I'm just saying we've got a contract and now you're dealing with Lundstram. We'll go back to Sterling first, right? So
on you go, Southside.
Right. So where are you going to play Sterling on Saturday, Robert? Where would you play him?
And
when the team's all fit, team's all fit to play, where are you playing them?
Right, well, if they're all fit, I would probably play him inside with Lundstram in the midfield, and in the midfield with Lundstram. There you go. I'd play Lundstram, him, and I'd play Cantwell, and Diamante has to miss out, because Diamante started off great, but he can't make a tackle, and he hasn't been good the last 2 or 3 games, I'm being honest. Although I like your boy, but I'd play Sterling before I play Diamante every day of the week. Yeah.
Title to your opinion, Robert. I respect it, mate, but Diamante's a far better player in his position, and now he's been playing well for us in there beside Lundstram, as we were talking about.
That's a bold statement considered.
Listen, he has been playing all right. Listen, he's contributed for goals, assists. He got forward. He goes, tries to get beyond.
What I'm saying is, if you forgot about that boy Sterling performance at there.
Aye, listen, I get it, right. So he probably plays better if you probably use him in there beside as a holding role. For what I've seen him, you stick him out wide and out left, he's not very good in 8 positions. You can say he's made impact in games when he's came on. You can go have a look at Kilmarnock. He took McCausland and that approach Sterling on. He was physical and all that. Doesn't bring a lot of creativity. You know, I'll guarantee you, and this is my thought and just my opinion. See, for the start of next season, Sterling's never playing the right wing or a left wing for Glasgow Rangers. Not a chance, right? So, and he'll not play. I don't believe he'll play in beside Lundstram or any other buddy. I think he'll go in a fullback position.
So you've changed
that's where he'll go.
You're giving Lundstram a new contract for next year?
No, I'm no. But if he gets to stay, he'll be there. But I just don't see Sterling being a regular in a Rangers midfield. That's just my opinion. I might be totally wrong.
No.
But I don't see in certain games he's not great impacts playing on wide positions. He's not got the skill in that. He's no.
Simon Park, when they played him outside left, he was non-existent, mate. Yeah.
Well, if we sign Cortez and we'll say right or Seema, so we'll just put Sterling out there because he gives off for Rangers and he tries, but we'll just stick him out there to give him a game, and we'll not play Seema if we sign him, or we'll not play Cortez on the left just because Sterling does well. That's what everybody's trying to say here. Nonsense, man. Absolute madness.
I've not said play him outside left or outside right, have I?
But people are saying get him in the team. Robert, fair enough to Robert. Robert said put him in the middle. Robert, I agree with you. Seen certain games, I think Sterling can come in there and shut a game down, stick him on somebody and that. I get it. But I don't like him being out wide right or wide left, mate, to be honest.
We'll come back. We'll give Robert the right to... Wait a minute. We'll give Robert the right to reply. But we need to have a tune.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though at times they have been hard. We've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Successful team in football, with Scotland's gallant few, who times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Whoa. Successful team in football, with Scotland's gallant few, who times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Whoa.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Great debate. Big Stevie. Oh, might have lost him there. Robert, in you come, mate.
No, listen, I know that before the break that Southside, I know that Southside was saying about playing Sterling out in the right or the left, and I totally agree with Southside. I wouldn't be playing him there. But I just think Southside, I think we've got a major talent here. I can see the signs of Calvin Bassey here, right? That's what I can see here. I just think we've got a major talent and we need to nurture him and we need to get him in the team. Now, I don't know where he's going to play, right? But I just think, no, I love about this big boy Sterling. No, I love about him. He's the type of player you can tell that doesn't spit the dummy out, doesn't take the huff because he's not getting in the team. Look, watch him. That's the type of player I love at Rangers Football Club. He waits his moment, and see when he does get in the team, he does a job. Whether you play him out in the left, whether you play him in the right, or whether you play him in the middle, or play him at right back or left back, you can play him anywhere, and that guy will give you 110%, and that's what I love about him, and that's what I love about a Rangers player.
In you come, Southside.
No, Robert, I think probably going forward, probably right back, going forward at some point. Tav's not going to be here forever. I wouldn't even care if he dropped Tav a few games going forward and rested him next season and we put Sterling in there and he fund that role for himself. Maybe rotates him. It wouldn't bother me. I can see him coming on and maybe doing a holding role and maybe going out and man-marking a player or that, but I just don't see Phil come on, Robert, playing him as regular in the midfield. I think he's going to go out and try and get better players. We're trying to develop players and get them in. Ryan Jack was a first pick before Sterling when he was fit. He put him in the team, you know. And if Ryan Jack was fit, Ryan Jack would get picked to now as well before Sterling would have.
That's the point that Robert's making, mate. That it's like the Calvin Bassey one, where he stumbled on something that, let's be honest, 6 months before Seville, the transfer window, the January, if Calvin Bassey would have left our club, it would have hardly made the headlines. We wouldn't have batted an eyelid. And then he had this mental purple patch. And we stumbled on something and the boys just get better and better. And by the way, according to what I've read, Fulham were a better team in that Premier League when he's in it at the moment. However, Sterling, I get it. We saw him, he didn't look great, and then we found out he's some injuries and he had an eye problem, and then he came in and all of a sudden he took off of that midfield and he's pace and power. So there's similarities there to Calvin Bassey, and he'll go and play a few roles for me. I think what I've seen so far, Southside, he looks a better player in the midfield than the couple of times I've seen him at fullback. That's in my opinion. Yeah. Whether if he had a run at fullback, it'd be a different thing. I don't know.
Well, I know it's going to. I'm just going to flip it. You can see you see the difference of what Ridvan done. If Ridvan had walked out the club a while ago, people would have said, "What, injury prone, rotten, too wee, didn't suit Scottish football." Look at him now with a regular game under his belt, playing in his position. People want him in the team every week now, straight away. And I kept saying, let him play 15, 16, 8, 20 games, see if we can get a run of games out of him and then judge him. And now we are judging him and everybody wants him to play every week. Sterling he'll have to nail a position at some point, Robert, in this team. But I just don't. And it's good to have that utility player that we can move him about. But I think going forward, Clement will have a winger on the right, a winger on the left. And if say we buy Seema and we stick him on the right and we play Cortez on the left, you've got Diamandi, you've got Cantwell, you've got Raskin, you'll have a couple of young boys you want to try and get into the team, Cole McKinnon. We're stacked in there with midfielders, and hopefully he'll want to go and get another good midfielder in there that he really wants, because he'll want to buy his own players. So I just think to spend the best part of close to 4 million, it's all right saying tell me come in and we'll just tell you, John, by the way, you've been playing really good, but we're not giving you the same money, we'll give you less.
No, but obviously we've stumbled after that, we'll be back on the Sterling thing, yeah. The Sterling
one is he's good, he's adaptable, we can put him into certain positions and it's good for the club. But I think going forward I'd like to see him keep Tavares in certain games and that and bring him through. Let's get him into a solid position, a fullback, and let's see him flourish, hopefully.
So, Southside, the question I want to ask you, right, the question is, cards on the table here, going forward, and we're talking about in the future, maybe next season, whatever, do you see D. John Sterling being in the Rangers team? In your opinion, going forward, would you have him in the Rangers team?
Aye, in a position that I think he should be in. I don't think he offers you anything wide right, wide left. So if you're saying to me centre midfield, if that's the only position you're giving me that you can put him into the team, then no, I'd rather he stuck with Diamondi in there.
But do you not appreciate what D. John Sterling's done for us? And say that boy stopped by when he couldn't get in the team under Michael Beale and all that. And I know it's
Robert, it's nothing to do with sentiment, mate. It's nothing to do with sentiment.
No, it's about
being a good player.
And he is at Southside. He's a cracking player. He's a cracking player. See for Scottish football, he's got the attributes, the build and everything. And look him, he doesn't complain. He just goes out there and he does his job. And you've got to be honest, 90% of his games he's been outstanding.
I'm flipping to Robert, mate, and I'll tell you, I think at the moment, if I'm picking a team and they're on the dressing room and I've got Raskin, and depending on the opposition in the game, if Lundstram's not there, D. John Sterling goes in midfield before Raskin all day long for me. On form.
Here.
Right. That's all right. Saying that, right. I'll agree with that. If that's your opinion, that's fine. But I'm saying to you, when they're off it, Forget the form they're in. I'm just talking about off it. And you're telling me D. John Sterling is into Rangers midfield. We'll drop Diamondi, like Robert says. We'll just take him out, right? We'll no play a Cantwell. We'll no play a Tom Lawrence. We'll no play Cortez on the wing if we sign him and things like that. Because we'll just find a place for Sterling because he's been good. He impacts in games, or he's had some no good games. He has, of course he has. I'm not denying he's not a decent player. I'm just saying that I don't see him going forward in a full command team as a midfielder in the centre midfield, unless you make him into one and you get rid of Lundstram.
Maybe. Stranger things have happened. Robert, in you come, mate, and we'll see if Big Stevie's there.
It's Southside, it's all about a squad, right? I'm not saying he's going to play every game, right? But see the guys you have just mentioned there, they've not all been consistent. But that boy has, when he comes into our team, has been consistent. And it's not that I've just got my boy specs for D. John Sterling, but I've loved watching that boy. I've loved his commitment and everything he gives to our club. So that's all I'm saying. These guys that you're mentioning there, they haven't all been consistent, but he has been, to be fair to him.
It's all about opinions, mate, and that's a good thing about it, isn't it?
Exactly, yes, and that's what this show Rangers Radio is all about. It's all about opinions. We'll agree, we'll disagree, and we've all got our favourites. And see, do you know what, Southside? I'll say this right now. My favourite's getting on. He's 32, and he's been one of your best players this season, most consistent, James Henry Tavernier. But you know what? See what's at stake here next season, because Tab's losing a wee bit of his legs and his wee bit of mojo, and that boy could fill in and do a better job. I'd put that boy in every day of the week. There you are.
Aye, listen, mate. The sands of time waiting for no man. Robert Benora, you know what I mean? I mean, you, Andy Felix, he was a big fan of Ryan Jack, and obviously the way Ryan plays the game, he's got injuries and that it's caught up with him. And we'll move on and we'll shake hands and we'll move on. It happens. Tav, you never know. There's been speculation in some of the clickbait sites that an offer's going to come in for the Middle East. And let's be honest. If the club would need to think about it, if it's substantial for Tav, and Tav would need to think about it for his family, if it's crazy bucks for a short term to make life changing. I know I've got a good life, but life changing for maybe generations, mate. Things move on in football very quickly. But listen, I swing to Robert here and with the Sterling one. What we see today as a defensive mid, he's got more attributes than some of the people out there. Has he got the football nous that Diamondi's got, Cantwell's got, Lawrence has got? Nah, he hasn't. Is there games where he's going to be more suited to play than them? I think so, Southside.
Aye, it does the new. Listen, who's not to say when you give him a contract and then he just starts, he just graps off for him? Do you know what I mean? Listen, judge him out of the 4 year. And I just think if people actually out there think John Lundstram's the best that we can get out there for that Rangers midfield.
We're talking about Sterling.
Sterling. Aye, well, Sterling, listen, I agree he's a good player, and I think probably in time we'll probably be able to get decent money for him. Somebody will come in for him. The boy has to nail down a position. He has to get a position in the team, and you'll get the benefit of him playing in there. And what he can do is also he could probably rotate with Tav a bit, Robert. You know, and Tav's been pretty good this year. You know, he's not been left open the way the system's been played and the way Clement's got the tactics. But I just think if he wants a regular game, I just don't see it being in a midfield all the time. But I used it certain times for certain games. I get it. But no going forward in a starting 11 week in, week out. I don't see him going forward to come on as a midfielder, honestly, don't.
I know, I can't answer this, and I'll go to Robert. Hopefully Big Steve will be back with us in a second. If Sterling had been fit against Benfica, I think we might still be in Europe. There you go. Never prove it.
You can never prove it, and you know what? That's a cracking point, because I said that I was at the Benfica game like yourselves guys, and I said if you'd only big Sterling and a fit Cantwell and a fit 3 or 4 other players, I think we'd have ghosted that game, honestly, and that's been the problem, and that's where big false hands have been tied with all these injuries. And yes, Oxford, I totally agree with you. Big Sterling could have made the difference that night because he's physique, his power, and what he does for the team. And this is where I'm coming. If you see that boy does a lot for our team, a real lot, and I like him. And Southside, I've got to be honest with you, I think going forward, and it's all right saying he needs to find a position in the team, but what that boy does for our team is incredible. I think he's brilliant, Southside. I'll be honest with you. I think this boy will make us millions if we and there's nothing wrong with having a utility player. Is that not even a better thing, Southside? You get somebody that can play in 3 or 4 different positions and do your job. I think that's amazing.
I think we've just stumbled on the fact he had to stick him into midfield because we had nobody else. Right, I get that. I just think he's got to. He'd like to see him nail down a position. And listen, if it's right back or left back or whatever it is, he has to cover the now in midfield. I get it. I want him to do well. I don't want the boy not to succeed. I'm just saying long term, Robert. I just don't see him as a midfielder in a command team. I just don't see it.
I'm the opposite, mate.
I know you have been, mate. You've been consistent with it, and it's good that we'll see it all unfold as time goes on.
But remember, I'm the guy who thought that Herrera led the line well in Sheffield, as you well know, yeah.
Who was he?
You know what I mean? And well, we'll not go back into the Andy Kennedy story that we talked about today, but dear. But you know what I mean? You're talking about what you've seen the time. In 6 months' time, you might be saying, "Oh, he's never suited to be playing in there." But you can only talk about what you've seen up to now. I hope Big Stevie's back. Was he back? Where's Biggin?
I think it's just the fact that he shows a lot of heart and desire, which we all want to see. That's what we want for our players in our team. He's enthusiastic, but he knows, Robert, he said himself, he's trying to learn on the job when he was in there. And I'll tell you what, Robert, he'll pick up loads of bookings in there because he is that enthusiastic and he does get stuck in, you know. I think playing in there regularly, he'd probably in the middle of the park, he'd probably sitting suspended more because he is all in, as we've seen.
Oh, Southside, I give you that because he has been a wee bit rash in his tackle. No, I do give you that, but he's still young and he's still going to learn. And with good players running about him and experienced players who'll nurture him, then he will learn. So I give you that, pal. I do give you that, yes. He can be a wee bit rash at times.
Aye, but listen, we've talked about somebody who was a mainstay for our team, and look at the record he had when he came in, Ryan Jack. You know, and Ryan, what was Ryan, about 25, 26 when he joined us? Sterling's a bit younger, with a bit, maybe arguably a bit of pedigree where the youth ranks he's come through. I know Ryan was an internationalist. Listen, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out, because I think Sterling could do a job in there because it's the pace Southside. He gets to people so quick that he stops the other team's players playing.
Mm-hmm. See if a club come in from now, right? Club come in from the summer, right? Where do you think they're actually going to play him? Where do they see him? Because he's been a full-back, as most people said, most of the season. He can't play centre-back because he stated that when he was asked, he went, oh no, anywhere but centre-back. So we've just stumbled on him, and we all think because he's been an impact player, he's been flying into tackles, he's contributed a couple of times in goals, and he's made that difference because we've been struggling with all the players that have been injured that couldn't go out and do the job that we expect them to do. So if a club comes in for him, do you think they're going to think, oh, I need a midfielder, I better go and get John Sterling?
If you want a defensive midfielder, I'll put it to you, Southside, the defensive midfielder. Is there a better one in Scotland?
I don't think he's ready for that yet, mate. I still think he's ready for a wee defensive midfielder. I think he's still got a lot to learn in the game.
What I've seen, he's miles ahead of anything in Scotland because he's pace, he's power, and he keeps it simple, and he gets it, and it's the potential for that boy to get to the next level. He's way ahead. If you take Raskin as a yardstick, he's miles in front of him.
I was just going to take Lundstram, mate. You've just all cried out that Lundstram's the best thing maybe we've got in our midfield, and you've just said there that he's better than Lundstram, mate. Well, you said he's the best midfielder in Scotland. Did you know defensive?
If you get different words in the night, I said.
Did you know they say that? Aye, it's Sterling. I know. Aye, I know. So that means you're saying that.
I've not mentioned Lundstram apart from you and Stevie having the debate.
But what I'm saying is, so what you're saying is, you said to me Sterling's the best defensive midfielder in Scotland at the moment.
On form when he's played in the games we've seen him, this season, yeah.
But that's what Lundstram plays for us, mate.
Can you tell me somebody's better than him with that pace and power, and he's also done it in Europe?
Well, everybody's raving about getting Lundstram a contract, and that's the position he plays for us.
Maybe you've answered your own question there, Robert.
Well,
can I come on?
Oh, you back?
Right, go on, Stevie. Good to have you back. How many pies did you eat there?
No, I had a couple of technical issues there, but I think I need to give a technical knockout to somebody here. Listen, I just think, look, our manager's key to everything, isn't he? He's going to be key to everything. He's not got a best 11. He's got a squad, and I think he's going to rotate. And I think John Sterling will find a place in this team somewhere. I just think the big man's been out. I think it'd be a crying shame not to play him in the team. Now, what I've seen him, that is a cry, because Robert hit the nail on the head there. The big boy under Beale never opened his gob when he wasn't getting a game or nothing. He just kept his head down, working hard. And when he got in the team, he has took his chances when he's got in. He showed us what he can do, and that's how we've got to like him. It's a 1-1 for the Rangers squad. That's how I'm looking at it. And getting back to Lundstram, I've just got to... I'm not saying John Lundstram's my favourite player, and I'm definitely not saying that Phil Clement can't bring in better. What I'm saying is, on current form, it would be a crying shame not to offer the boy a contract. But if I was offering them a contract outside, it would be reduced in years and it would be reduced in money. It would be a case of you get a 2-year contract, maybe a push at 3, depending on how many games you play in the 2 year, and this is your wages. What your wages are going to be, take it or leave it. That's just it in a nutshell. But as far as Sterling, where we play him and how does anybody get into the Rangers team? How did McCausland get into the Rangers team? How did McCausland get into the Rangers team?
Because he's got a bit of skill. He's a decent wee player. He's still learning. We're trying to develop him.
Right. So Big Phil's seen something in him. So do you not think Big Phil's seen something in the big in Sterling?
I'm not saying...
I'll cut across you two fine gentlemen. I've been joined with our good friend Big Al. Evening, Big Al.
Good evening, gentlemen. All you leave Southside alone, man.
How you doing, big man? Good to hear you on.
I'm good. I'm not on to be on your side, though.
No, that's fine.
Stuff you've said. I'm going to laugh. No, look, By the way, it's a great show tonight. Absolutely brilliant, very insightful, and good. I mentioned that to the secretary there in Luton. For me, I think I'd let Lundstram go. Remember that time, was it the season before last, when he gave up on the ball, he didn't chase back?
St Johnstone away.
Remember? Aye. That's in that guy.
Just so you know, Al, he's got a tattoo with the date of that happened. Just letting you know.
But all I've got to say is that's in that guy, right? I mean, even 6 months ago, 7 months ago, towards the end of last season, we would all probably got rid of him, I think. Just maybe it came across his attitude and different things like that. Look, he's playing well now, and I think somebody mentioned just the other night also that I think the manager is getting a tune at him. He's responsive to the manager. But I think we've got a ready-made replacement, and that is the boy Sterling. I think Sterling, he's young, he's ambitious. And to me, I think you can see he's got something about him. I would play him and Dimonde in the middle, so that I may be sitting on the fence slightly. I'd play they two. Ryan Jack, he'll not be here next season, so it's really pointless talking about Ryan Jack. I think that would be a midfield. I think we could work around, and I think because with that midfield, we've got two kind of young players that we can put really, really in the shop window, get 2 or 3 seasons with themselves for big money. But in the 2 or 3 seasons, they dominate midfields in Scotland. They try and dominate midfields in the European arena, and they do well for us. I think Sterling would be great at that. He also seems to have a wee bit more drive than Lundstram. I mean, Lundstram can still divert back to being the crab, playing it back to, whereas I think Sterling, maybe it's the youthfulness in the young guy, he'll try something a wee bit different.
It's the pace, Al.
Also,
it's the pace.
I agree with Southside. You've got to stick him there and leave him there for the 10 games, and you know what I mean. And I don't think it's too much of a gamble. I think he will thrive under that. That's just my take on it.
Stevie.
Aye, look, listen. Again, me and Southside debate a lot of things, right? And I agree a lot with what Southside says, but I just think this big boy does on Sterling in the middle of that part. He's a big, listen, pace, power is what we need in our game. I've said it a million times in this show. Sometimes football doesn't get you to win games here in Scotland. Sometimes it's a wee bit of fight and desire that gets you over the line. I just see that in abundance in that big guy. I really do. And Big Al might be right. That might be the fact that, John's thing with, what's his name again? I bloody forgot his name.
Lundstram
is it might be a rotation between the two of them, and in any game you might get 70 minutes so it allows them, and then the big game comes on. It might be a case of that with this manager, because he rotates quite a lot, but he's not got a set 11. But for me, man, you've got to get the big man. There's something special about him. There's just something about him, and as a club where you're looking to sell players for big money, we've got to get this guy on the park to sell him. And I think he's going to be something else. I really do. The fact that he just kept his beak shut, kept his heat down, and got on with it under Beale, and he's done it, and he's came. I mean, he's got his goal there in Benfica and that and all. He's getting into good positions, a big one. He's got a bit of drive. That's what I like about him. That's what we need. Power and pace. We need guile, and the big man's got it. He's no shy of a tackle either.
Robert?
Yeah. Well said, Stevie. Can I ask, Big Al, good to hear you on the show tonight, Big Al. Can I ask you something, pal? You've always banged on the drum, Big Al. You've always banged on the drum about youth players getting a chance, Al. I've always heard you on Rangers Radio about youth players, right? And you're quite right. So here's a youth player in big Sterling. So would it not be nice, Al, for big Lundstram to nurture him along and for him to take over that position because I think I'll be honest with you, Big Sterling. I think he's a brilliant player.
Up to young boy.
No, come on, come on.
Sterling's a good player. No, the manager does that. Lundstram isn't a player I'd like to learn off of.
Aye, but I'll look in the past. Look at guys like Davy Weir, nurtured Danny Wilson along, and you've always had that going down the line. There's always experienced players nurturing the young players. So how can Lundstram not do that for D. John Sterling?
I don't think D. John Sterling's a young player, mate. I think he's about 24.
He's a young player coming into the team.
He's ages with me.
Aye, but he's a young player coming into the Rangers team. He's a young player, if you know what I'm talking about. He's not been in the Rangers team that long. Aye, yes, exactly.
Aye, but listen, great debate, Big Al. Then Southside can come back in and we'll maybe try and move on a wee bit. But brilliant, it's all about opinions. And Southside, I don't disagree. On you go, Al.
No for me, Robert. I think the Weir thing's a wee bit different. I think David Weir's a wee bit in a different position, a bit better player, a bit classier player. So no for me. And I think the manager was a midfielder, So I think the manager's got enough about him. And our number 2 was a midfielder, I believe, as well. So I think they've got enough about him to coach a guy. I think you get him in the team and he does it himself. Stevie said it, and we all know it. He's got something about him. I don't think he needs too many people to hold his hand. I think he just needs a good run at it. That's just my opinion.
So say.
Everybody's just clouded because he's having a purple patch, and we've not a lot to choose for. Kieran Dell was fit, and other players had been fit. Even Danilo playing and Seema fit hadn't took his injury. I think we wouldn't be playing in any of these positions at all. But he's done decent. I think in the middle of the park, he's probably done his best. I think out wide in most of the games, he's had impacts like Kilmarnock, and he had an impact at Hibs and that recently. In other games like St Mirren and other games at Ibrox, he's looked out of position. He's not been unsure. He's cramped the wingers going forward. He's not got good vision or movement. He's not got a bit of skill in the middle of the park where he can turn the man and go and burst forward like we're seeing Diamante do. I think him and Lundstram suit that sort of role. He's even put Lawrence in there and tried it out with that and all. But I just think in a full fit team, he's no getting a place in that starting midfield. We've got to think Clement wants to go out and buy his own players. We've got in that Cobham guy who's going to have a lot of players that we want to bring in, and we need to start emptying out most of these players. And if you want to give Lundstram a contract close at $2 million a season, batter in for the next 2 years, give him $4 million. I think we could use that elsewhere in the squad and get better players in and clear out most of the dross that we're going to clear out in the summer. But first of all, and we want to go and win this league, which we should do, and then we're going into Champions League. And I'd love to see John Lundstram in the Champions League, man. He'll get past about, he'll have no of the pace for in there or nothing. We need players that are going to get about.
What you want, somebody about 24 who's a good ball winner, who's really pacey.
Aye. And we've got him there, I know.
Came for Chelsea.
Aye, played at Stoke. Aye. Well, that's what I'm saying. So there, we've got somebody who's not costing us a fortune.
Southside, I'm not saying he is the answer. What I'm saying is, and I'm agreeing with you, I think you have to give him a run of games. But if we can go and buy a far better player, then he does a better job, I'm all for that as well. I think you kind of answered your own question. At the moment, we've not got much option. And when a player gets a chance, they have to grab it. I think he's proved, he might not be 100% there, but I think he has proved when he's been given a chance, he's grabbed it. I think we could all agree on that, I'm not saying he's the answer, but man, definitely no.
If Berwick would have happened, Sandy Jarden when they get in the Rangers first team.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. It's circumstances. What is it? What do they call that? Serendipity. Serendipity, is that right? It's like the sliding doors moment.
Just your luck. I mean, let's be honest. I remember on this show, I think.
Can I ask Robert? Robert,
aye, on you go.
Because I need to go. Robert.
Yeah.
Grass in your front garden.
What?
You big man. I'll see you next week.
My grass is blue in the front garden.
Grass is blue. Good on you.
You don't have gardens
Take
up
care,
Hack Hill.
thanks.
Brilliant.
Listen, sometimes in football you get the team through various different, and a lot of people end up in positions they don't start out in, you know, but we'll see how it develops. Listen, just before we go, does a fit Sterling start the next 2 home games? David? If he's fit, I don't know how fit, you know.
Sorry, Ox, what was that?
Does a fit Sterling start the next 2 home games?
Of course. We need power, we need pace. The business end of the season. We need a guy who can get up and down. And we're going to need every player in the squad in this run out. This is why I'm saying Clemente. Look, I'm not going to lie. I'm fighting Big Lundstram's case here for a new contract, a different contract than what he's on. I see why Southside's saying what he's saying. There's no time for sentiment. We've got to get better players in there. And maybe Dujon's that player that will come in, right, and fill that place. But I just want power and pace, and I just think that big man's got it. I really do, and I hope Big Clement, if he doesn't start, brings him on 70 minutes when Big Looney's knackered, and that's how it's going to be. And that's the same for everybody. That's been happening all season with Bourne and Ridvan and guys like that. Look, we've stumbled across something, and all I'm saying is I can see something special in the Big Dujon fella, and I can see the club getting big money for him if he can get a run in that team.
I think he's mustered Southside. I think there's potential there. It'll be interesting to see if he plays at left back in Saturday.
Could. Not about take Clement. It could.
Aye, but listen, I've been right in the past. Players you've seen and you think they're all right at first, and players you don't think are great at first. You know, things change, yeah.
Well, that's how McCausland got his chance, innit?
Well,
through circumstances.
Let's be honest, if the boy Hogwaist didn't do his hamstring.
Aye, and it took him a wee bit of time. Obviously, he came in and he showed no fear, and he had some really good performances. I think he was starting to strike up a good understanding with Tav on the right-hand side. I would like to see him contribute more for goals and assists. Aye, he has done it this year, and he scored the odd goal. He was unlucky to start when he got a couple ruled off. Took a Sorian and struggled, but I think there's a lot of potential in the boy, and even he'll struggle.
I don't think you'll see him much this season, mate.
Maybe no.
I think that injury's complicated, mate.
I think he'll struggle next season to be a regular in the first team as well. I really do. But it'll be good for his development, and hopefully we'll bring him on in games where put him into his true position. If we can get him on the park, he's coming on as a substitute going forward next year, because he's not a right winger. So it's all about, we want better. We want to have better. And Lundstram's been here long enough, and of course he wants to stay because he's playing in big games and he gets handsomely paid. But it's not about sentiment here. Clement's your manager, and he's probably got a lot of more players that he'd love to get in the club. So if John Lundstram has to be a casualty along with anybody else that you want to pick out this team, whether it be a Raskin, a Cantwell, a Lawrence or whatever, they'll go if they have to. And he'll not get that contract if Clement doesn't think so. They might be rewarding him now, it'll be good performances, but listen, we might be a lot stronger and better, and I think we could use that money wisely, and I'm sure Cotton and Clement and the rest of them will have an idea of who they want, and hopefully it'll be a lot better than what we've got.
Southside.
Aye, mate.
See if Mr. Clement doesn't give him a contract, I'm all right with that. If Big Phil says he's no good enough to get that contract, I'll say, okay, I thought he was, but I'll go with you, Mr. Clement. I'll back you. I'll back you up. You've not got it much wrong so far, so I'll go with you. There you go. I'll put it that way to you.
Listen, if he gives him a contract, I'll need to support him, won't I? Because he obviously thinks he's going to do a job. But 2 years down the line, a lot of games, and if you're going to make him a bit part player at times and give him a hefty chunk, no, I just think I'm hoping he's got a lot more players in mind, mate, him and Coppin and the rest of them, and it'll make us far better and stronger, mate, honestly. Want players that can buzz about, get about the park, no just drop into a back three to link to play. You got to go and create and assist and other things in the game. And when we've got corners, he goes back to the halfway line to mark the player that gets sent up the park.
Can I ask the $1 question, wingman?
Yes.
Am I okay for my pies on Friday?
Monday.
Okay. Delivery Monday, is it?
You've got to get the important things right, Robert, on here, ain't you?
Listen, definitely. And can I finish off with my D. John Sterling? I know I've been sticking up from all night because I love him to bits. I think he's a player. I'll tell you something. See Saturday, if we Ridvan, and it looks like we Ridvan's going to be missing the Saturday, and that wee guy's done brilliant, and he's another one under Clermont. We'll criticise the wee guy. He wasn't big enough, he wasn't strong enough, but we Ridvan's been brilliant in the last few games. But we know he's not going to be playing this Saturday, but all looks at. So I would play D. John Sterling at left back before Borna Barisic. That's only my opinion, because I'll tell you now, I think Barisic is down tools. It's only my opinion. He's gone to that Trabzonspor in Turkey, and I think he'll down tools. So I would rather have Sterling in the left back than Barisic every day of the week. There you go.
I would honestly say, Robert, right, I agree to a certain extent. I like to see Big Sterling in the team, right, but I'm going to say, I think if Borna did play, mate, I think he's a pro. I think he loves the Rangers, and I think he would try his heart out to get another couple of medals before he goes, mate. I don't think he's down tools. I just think he's getting to the stage now where it's time to go, you know. But I think he would give up his all the last 7 or 8 games we've got left in the league, and whatever, he'd do his best if the wee man was there. I disagree with the fact he's down.
Stevie, has he gave us all the last 4 or 5 months? He was good, as Southside said. He was good at the start of the season. But what's Borna done in the last 4 or 5 months for Rangers when he does get a game? Look at him doing in Kilmarnock. He had.
Aye, you're right. He was bullied. He was absolute bullied, I thought. But listen, you're right. But I'm going to... look, remember, players get injured and that, and sometimes they come back. They're not the same for a while. I'm not saying... There's times... I seen Borna at Parkhead a few years back, and you can go back further than that again. There's times where I thought, man, you are an absolute coward, the creation I've ever seen. No, and then there's games where he's right in about it and whatever. But look, I'm just looking at things
Stevie,
here.
Just watch. I know his dad listens.
Don't worry about his dad. I've got my Hanley. Listen, no, just here and now. Look, if we're advanced no playing and Borna come in, I think the boy would give his all. Yes, I do agree. He never made an impact when he came back there last time. But I just think he would try his hardest. I don't think he would down tools on us, Robert. It's a business end of the season. He knows what it means to the fans. And I think he would try and get in a high. Just my opinion.
No, that's fair too, Stevie, but I just think you've seen it over the years with players who have gone to another club and they do down tools. It's football for you, and I'm not just saying about having a goat Borna, but it's there.
No, it's easy, right? It's easy. This is easy. There's 3 people here. You've got you're in one corner, Stevie's in the other, south side. What would you do?
But Riyadh playing him? Now you're talking about just playing Borna? I mean, he played. I think he had a bad game at Kilmarnock, Robert, as you said, right? He did have a bad game, but it's not to say he would have a bad game on Saturday.
Well,
you know,
fun.
and I don't think he's going to down tools because he's the part he could be walking out the door and it'd be a treble winner. So, but if I put Sterling in the left back position, I'd be happy with that as well. It wouldn't bother me. At least I know that he can play full back because he's played there left back, right back, so that doesn't bother me at all. Just unfortunate with Advance not available. So either or, mate. It doesn't bother me on Saturday.
Come on the fence. Come off the fence. Your fault. Come on. You've got to make a decision. What you did?
I think Borner will play. I think you'll pick Borner.
You'd pick Borner.
Sterling at left back. I think he will, aye. Because you might find a place in the midfield from according to you. So you might put on the right hand side of the midfield on Saturday.
No, I don't think you're playing the right hand side, mate.
No, I think so, no.
No, I don't.
No, I don't mean right. I mean up front, right hand side.
No, I totally agree with you there. That's not his position. When they played at Benfica, and we tried to play near enough a 4-4-1-1, mate, and with him covering that ground, he was effective in that right hand side of the midfield when he scored the goal. Yeah, but to play in the right hand side to be progressive, I totally agree with you. And you think back to the game at St Mirren, mate, when he played the left. That was just filling a jersey and giving you what he could. That's not been fair to the boy or the team.
I do honestly believe that Borner wasn't going to come in for any games before the end of the season. I mean,
I don't know. You just don't know what the manager thinks. The manager might think as soon as let's play devil's advocate and say the manager, as soon as you're signed for somebody else, I'll never pick you. Yeah,
but has he actually signed? The club's not come out and said it yet, have they?
No, I know it's all rumours and speculation, but it's just it'll be interesting to see who's picked, and obviously we'll know at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Yeah, but listen, a great debate. How did we get on? How did we get on to this? Oh, that was you, Stevie Lundstram, wasn't it?
No, sorry, because my wingman. My wingman.
It's good debate, isn't it, mate? That's what it's about. I respect your opinion all the time. We've good banter, a good laugh, same with Ox and everybody that goes on the show. Robert phones in regular, got a good opinion. Big Al's the same, it's phoned in. That's what it's all about. It's just about opinions in it, and I just want to see the best team on the park going forward. And I just think this manager needs to go and rebuild a team. And we want to give one of the players that's been playing well for him a contract and give him close to that amount of money. When Clermont might have a far better player in mind that we don't know about, that will probably might even come in on a freedom of contract and he'll not be getting chunky money like $2 million a season. And then he goes on and becomes a superstar for us. So that's what I'm saying. We need to give Clermont as much money as possible. We're probably getting into this Champions League game. We win this league. We're getting into Champions League. We need to. And we'll need to go in with players that are going to be fit and can run about and chase down and work the system, the style of football that he wants. And he'll have players that will fit that system. This whole squad wasn't built to fit his system. It was built to fit what Bill was trying to do. And Clemont's had to work with it. So as much as he's getting a tune at all these players, it's not to say they're all still going to be there. I'd like to think he could, but he's wanting to rejuvenate at least 9 players for the start of next season.
Oh,
we'll have to.
There's always
easy.
You don't see coming, mate. You know, you don't see coming. You know, for loads of reasons, it might be an offer, mate. It might be family reasons. It could be a million reasons. You don't know. You just don't know, mate. You don't know in football, mate. There's nothing. It's a funny. As somebody used to say, Robert, it's a funny old game, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is, and I agree with Southside. Come next season, and I don't want to pick out players, but did you see that big guy miss against Nigeria? Did you watch that one? He put 10 feet over the bar last night for Nigeria. He's definitely can't be there next season. And I'm sorry, I don't want to pick out any players, but him up front, nah, no for me. He can't be a Rangers striker.
The problem you've got, mate, is getting him out the door. That's always a problem with players now in modern football, mate. It's getting him out the door because he's most likely to get another 3 years contract to go on chunky money. Stevie?
That's true. We've said that a million times, isn't it? It's the same as Ben Davies and guys like that. You know, they're picking up big wages, and doing nothing. And I think some of them would rather sit in the stand and get the money they're getting. And that's just the way it, mate. That's what happens when you give people 4-year contracts, It's just craziness, absolute craziness. It's just, for me, look, it's just mad. I don't get some of it, Ox, you know. I really don't get some of it.
Stevie, what I don't get, I'll be honest with you, pal, I don't get people, guys picking up wages, and you're right sitting in the stand because the shirt's too heavy for them. And Stevie, that's what's happening with your club. There's guys picking up 30 grand a week, and you know what? They don't want to go out there. But then you've got guys like Lundstram who they go out there and give their all, and they might not be the best midfielder we've ever had, but they give their all, and that's what I don't get, Stevie. The same with Tavernier, the same with Butland, the same with Goldson. They play 60 games a season, but then you've got all the other ones who don't, who want to sit in the stands and who don't want to play for us, and they're picking up 30 grand a week. That's what gets me, Stevie, and that's what hurts me about our club. We shouldn't have these guys. These guys need to be driven out our club, and we need to bring in players who want to play for that shirt. Only my opinion.
Southside's right, Robert, when they say that we've got too much deadwood, and that sometimes they'll need that. See, Ryan
Are you talking about the club or on the show, Stevie?
Both, including myself. I'm including myself in that. No, listen, guys like Ryan Jack, Kamer Ruth, all these guys, Ben Davis, you could go on and on and on. You know, we need to get rid of them all. You know, we need to clear them all out. And look, we're not going to be two-faced here. Look at the tune that Big Phil's got out that team that was on their knees when Beale left. So, and we've all said that, what was this guy be like if he get his own players in? So, and look, although we're trying to give guys contracts here and there, we're only seeing things as how it is and what we're debating. That's all here and now. But next season's got to be totally different. I'm expecting Big Phil to bring a centre-half in one of his own, another striker, one of his own. You know, guys like Deserts, I mean, how stupid is it, right? I would probably go by Silver and Roof up front on Saturday. And look at Roof, you know what I mean? Look what he's done. I would rather have Roof on Saturday. Just something's telling me that I would rather Roof and Silver than Deserts against Celtic. Anyway.
Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot of time to debate that, and it'll be interesting to see who's fit and who's no fit, because, as I said, we've not really played a game for, well, it'll be 3 weeks tomorrow night when we played Benfica. You know, everybody should be rested. I was surprised we didn't maybe have a bounce game for some of these guys to move up with their fitness. You know?
Yep.
Probably just want to get them back into training. He'll probably play the 11 against 11 and that in the day training when the players have all sort of come back, maybe. But I think it'll just be the ones that have been away. Also, it'll probably be a wee bit of rest time for them as well with the travelling. Roof, no, he can't start. Stevie, he's hardly kicked a ball. I mean, we need him for the games that he's using them for and the way he's using them. I think every time he wouldn't get a run of games at that. You know, it'd be a big risk, and I think we need them.
And I say this, if Roof's running in and go 1-1 and Deserts is running in and 1-1, who would you prefer?
I know it's easy to say that, right? But if you're asking me, is Deserts going to last a game or is Roof going to last a game?
I get you.
Right.
I get it.
Roof's going to be needed for the run-in. He'll have to come on maybe 20 minutes and that. He'll probably nick goals if he can keep him ticking there. I think he'll come on doing the right thing. Love to see him start. But I think Oxford probably could dig stats out. I think he's played about 4 or 5 90 minutes in 2 years. So that's roughly about his stats. Oxford probably find that if that's right. Sure about that. And we can't...
do you want me to have a look, mate?
Aye, but Dessers gets into positions, and listen, he doesn't score the goal running in very often. He done one at Dundee away running. Remember, he stuck it by the goalie, but the other ones he's failed. He seems to be instinct. Something comes in, drops. He seems to get his foot on it. Scored a good goal at Hibs away, and he side-fitted it into the corner. It was quite intelligent what he done. But aye, he's not a great player, but I think he'll start in the next 2 games coming up. Stevie, that's just my opinion as our number 9.
It's going to be interesting. Where you go, Stevie?
I was just going to say, I thought his corner, and I said, we've seen the worst of the big man, but listen, certain things, you start to look silly when you're defending somebody that just, you know, he keeps, you know, games you're scratching your head, some of the stuff. As you said, when he's got time to think about it, he's woeful. When it's just a spur of the moment, he seems to be better. But all I'm saying is, against Celtic, a one-on-one, I would love Kamer Roof to be running in one-on-one rather than the big game. I'm sorry. But, and again, you said that, can Roof last a full 90 minutes? No, that's down to our manager. Right, innit?
I don't know. Last 5 games started. I think he's hardly. I mean, you have to go back. The last game he started was St Johnstone in a 2-0 win, you know, and just before Christmas, and then he got injured, didn't he? Again, I think that was the game he came off injured. You know, he's only started in the last 3 seasons. Saying this one's nearly done 24 games Southside.
Aye, shocking, innit? Absolutely shocking. Listen, we know if he was
That
fit.
started, by the way, obviously he's been sub.
Listen, he has got his impact, didn't he?
Aye.
He done it off the bench in the game at Hampden against Aberdeen, and then went out injured, didn't he? He's been half injured, aye. So, listen, Stevie, I think we just need to use him the way the manager's doing it, and hopefully, if we need him to come on and get an extra goal and get more game time, and because he will nick goals round about the box if he gets the chances. But I don't think we start him, mate. To be honest, I don't think you can risk it. How thin we are now.
I think you're right. I don't think we will start him, but I'm just saying a 1-on-1, you know. But it is what it is. And no matter what happens, as long as we beat them, I don't care who scores or what happens, as long as we beat them. But Big Phil will get it right. He sees them every day, mate. He sees who's keeping their head down and working hard, so he knows what he's doing. I've got every bit of faith in the big game.
Yeah. Right, anyway, Robert, last word for your good self. The time's flew tonight. Great debate. I like a wee argument. I like a wee bit of tit for tat. Robert.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for letting me be on Rangers Radio for the last hour and a bit with Big Stevie and Southside. I'd just like to say, I'm looking forward to Saturday. That international break, garbage. I'm looking forward to seeing my Rangers climbing these stairs up to that club deck and singing the Billy Boys and the rest of it all. I'm looking forward to seeing my Rangers on Saturday. And I'll tell you one thing. I hope Big D John Sterling's in that at that 11 because I know he'll give his all. Well, I'll give him all in these stands. Oxshire, thank you very much for having me on Rangers Radio tonight. I've really enjoyed it. The debate with Southside and Big Stevie. Thank you very much. And can I say one thing? Come on, you callers out there, get in and call this show and make this show what it is, a great show. Good night, guys.
Good night,
Right,
Robert.
Cheers, Robert.
Big Stevie.
Some man, Robert, aren't he? Absolute some man. One of these days, I'm going to tie up with him and take him up on that 3-course Indian meal he keeps offering me. But anyway, listen, brilliant show, great debate, good to get Big Al and Robert on. That's what the platform's all about. Me and Southside are chums, but we agree to disagree. We all want the best for Rangers, that's it. And that's the bottom line. So thanks for having me. It's Dream Team Wednesday. I'm going to sign off. I've got my pieces to make for work in the morning. I think it's chopped pork I'm having, my favourite. And good night to all the listeners.
Cheers, big man. Southside.
Aye, mate, thanks for having us on again. And it was just coming back on the Wednesday night. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's good to hear Big Al phone in and Robert as well join us tonight. It was good debate, mate. Listen, one thing about it is we're all passionate about Glasgow Rangers. We all want the best and we all want to win. And that's what it's all about, you know, and we don't take anything less. So roll on Saturday, hoping to get down to Ibrox and we'll batter that Hibs and that on the park on Saturday and get the 3 points in the bag for the famous Glasgow Rangers and get this charge going and get this title win. So thanks for having us on, and I hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight that was listening in.
Cheers, mate. Thanks to Robert and Big Al for joining us, of course. Thanks to Old School Blue and Fox for doing the technicals, and the Stars are right. Southside and Big Stevie for taking part in the show. Thanks for listening. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 in the run-in to 56. Take it away, Old School Blue.